Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I just had to make a video about this. One of my viewers is going through it and I just decided this is video worthy. This man lied about how many kids he had. Let's go ahead and get into it. So I had a viewer message me about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, about a guy she's been dealing with. I'm gonna go ahead and read it. I'm gonna keep it anonymous. I'm not gonna say her name and who it is, but I'm just gonna go ahead and read the email to you guys so we can all learn from this. And if this happens to you, what do you do? And we're gonna get into the situation of how to date a man with a kid and things to look out for when dating men with children, and how should you go about it, and is it recommended or is it not recommended? So let's go ahead and get into it. So here it is. I've been dealing with this guy for a year and a half. At the beginning of the relationship, everything was good until secrets started to come out. At first, he told me he had 4 kids. But then, come to find out, he lied and about how many kids he had, and he actually has 8 kids and 6 baby mamas. All right, but then come to find out, yeah, he lied about how many kids he had. He actually has 6 baby mamas. I only have one who is, she said her child's in her age. I was told once a person lies, once more lies come after that. So when a person lies, there's a trail of lies that follow right behind it, right? I feel like the relationship has been very toxic. He never took me on a nice date, and I never met his mom. Mind you, I've been talking to this person since October 2019. That's 2 years, guys. 2 years. I've been to his house. I've never been to his house because he lives with his mom. Mind you, she's 27. But recently he told me he just got his own place, and I asked to come over, but he told me he was in Florida. Come to find out, he never was in Florida. Maybe he is lying about having his own spot. I don't know, but I just don't understand why I let the relationship last this long. I need some advice and guidance. So let's break this down. First of all, the red flag is he had 4 children. She didn't say if the 4 children was separated or from one woman or 2 women or whatever, but that he had a total of 8 kids from 6 different women. 6 different women. She only has 1 kid. What? Nonetheless, even before she found out about the 8 children, they've been dating for a year and a half. So she almost wasted 2 years of her time without commitment from this guy. The guy has not committed to her in any type of way. He has not taken her out on any nice dates, and she's never met his mother. Not saying that meeting mom is the overall, but if you have not met mom, because it's a lot of guys out there that bring women to their mom all the time. Every woman that they talk to, every woman they date, they mama meet. So I don't really take mama serious these days, because nowadays it seems like moms are okay with just meeting any girl, whatever. But the fact is that he lied about how many kids he has. So I gave her my advice, and I basically told her that he has lived a false reality. He's not who he say he is, and you have to look within yourself of why you kept dealing with that. And sometimes that has a lot to do with self-esteem, self-worth, and loneliness. She has to make herself look at herself in the mirror and say, am I worth more than this? What other lies can he possibly have told me? He's lied about how many children he has, so who knows if he's even a deadbeat or even really takes care of his children. From the sound of it, it sounds like he actually is probably living with one of his baby mamas. Usually with men with that many children, don't really have any money, so I don't expect him to take you out. He sounds like a straight up bum. He's not taking care of his priorities. He was not being honest up front. You have not met his mother. You have not been to his house. He lives at home with his mother, and she's well over the age of 25. Okay, so obviously he's probably around her age or older. I doubt he would be an 18-year-old. I would hope not. But I doubt that. So I'm pretty sure he is around her age, and he doesn't have a stable home. So he's probably bounced around from baby mama to baby mama and dragging her on. Girl, like all of us would say, First of all, before I even give my reaction, post your reaction down in the comments. Don't be insulting. This is an encouraging platform. But girl, what would be your reaction to her? If this is your friend or your sister coming to tell you about this guy, what is your reaction? Go ahead and comment that below. I'm going to tell you my reaction. My reaction is run, sis, run. Because it's not going to get any better. First of all, he lied about his whole identity. He lied about his life. He does not have his life together. He sounds broke. And he probably is living at home with one of his baby moms. And that is why he is not letting you know. And on top of that, he is a deadbeat. So here it is. She's probably traumatized with the whole sex or whatever. And she's probably not knowing her self-worth, you know. Who knows her situation or her past history. But baby girl, it's not going to get any better. He's not doing anything for you except actually, he's getting what he wants from you, which is probably sex. So he's probably at your house all the time, eating up your kids' snacks and not paying a lick, not taking you out, not doing anything for you, benefiting from you. And as a mother, I'm going to have to say, if this man is not doing anything to elevate your life or your son's life or your child's life or whatever, why are you with him? He's not doing anything for y'all. And he honestly, he has too many kids for you. If you don't have that many kids, you don't have to deal with a man that has that many freaking kids. Any man that has that many I don't even care if you had 3 kids. Any man that has 8 children by 6 different women says a lot about that man, that he is broken. He is broken inside and that he creates broken families. There's no way that he is that he's spread thin already, right? So he's not going to give her all this time because he has 8 children to deal with, probably on child support. Or if he's dealing with some of these baby mamas, he's probably playing games and sleeping around with these baby mamas as well, because that's what a lot of them do when they have that many baby moms. From what I've seen in my own personal life with family members, when they have that many children, they usually they don't settle down until they're like really old. So they don't usually settle down, and they hop between families to make the baby moms feel better about themselves. Ma'am, you have a chance, and I need you to run. I need you to run. You do not need to become his 7th baby mama, because at that point you dropped the ball. You do not need to become his 7th baby mom. Ladies, we have to, if this man has this many families, we have to look at the reality that he's not going to be this family guy. He's not going to be this great dad with this big happy family. No, that's not the reality of it. And this is not the Brady Bunch. I'm sorry, but the Brady Bunch had one set of family, another set of family, kids all from the same person, that came together. Not baby mama here, baby mama there, baby daddy over here, baby daddy over there. No. This is not the Brady Bunch, and that's not what the reality is going to be. And on top of that, he sounds like he don't have his life together, and he sounds like he's broke. I would say run as far as you can. Now, when it comes to men and kids, if you are 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, maybe even 25. I would say if you just turned 25, I would not recommend dating anybody with kids, because if you don't have a kid, if you don't have a kid yourself, because you are in your prime younger years. Of course, your 20s are your prime, but as you get older, of course, it is going to be harder to find people of good quality that you match with that don't have kids. It's going to be harder to find, because as you get older, there's more people who have children, and that's just the reality of it. People get into long-term relationships and they end up splitting up. People get into marriages and they end up splitting up. That is the reality. So the more you go up, the more that you're older, you're like 40 or 50 years old, you're going to be meeting men that's already been married maybe once or twice. You're going to be meeting men who have children. You're going to be meeting women who have children. So you can't really, your options kind of decrease when it comes to people with children. But if you're younger, I would not recommend dating someone with a kid. I did not when I didn't have a kid, but as I had a kid after 25, I was like, okay, well, you know what, like, let's give this a try, you know. And you know, I had 1, so I'm not gonna date a guy that has 3 or 4, because unless it just kind of depends. It depends on their situation, and like I said, it depends on their situation. If they get along with their baby moms, if it's not multiple women, That is also important. If it's from like multiple women, I need to know the backstory. Actually, I don't need to know the backstory. I don't even want to deal with you if it's by too many women, because that just shows me that you've created so many broken families. How can I expect you to lead this family when you were supposed to lead other families and you left? That's how I look at it, and I'm not changing my mind about it. That's how I look at it. So for a man to have that many kids and lie about it, he's not worth it, and he's not worth saving. He probably cannot be saved. Like I said, I have a family member who had, you know, a lot of kids, and he finally settled down, and his wife had to suffer because, you know, child support hit him. Because the baby mom's like, oh, you want to settle down and get married? You want to go and play family with somebody else? Okay, child support. And that shortened their family, and it shortened their income. So you get the short end of the stick when you're dating a man with that many children. Now, if you're a woman with that many kids, that can probably work for you. But if you are a woman with 1, 2, less than that, just try not to date somebody who has 6 baby mamas. Like, that just says a lot about the quality of the type of man he is. Because after like the 3rd, you would think that he would be like, let me wrap it up. But no, he didn't. He went and found 3 other women to impregnate. So that says a lot about the man. And it says that it's not much about the man or his income or what he can do for you or your child or your household. Okay, so I also had got a request to talk about dating a man with a kid. There's a woman who don't have a kid, and she's like, look, this is different stomping grounds for me. I'm dating a man with a kid. I don't know what to look for. I'm really nervous about the situation. I don't know how to go about it. Well, for one, when my first time dating a guy with a kid, I asked him like, okay, well, how many kids do you have? Okay, he had 2. He was recently divorced. And I'm like, oh wow, that's a big one for me, because not only do you have kids, you were divorced. I take marriage very seriously. So I had to know, like, why did you get divorced? Like, what happened? You know, what happened to the marriage? And he straight up told me like, look, I got divorced because, you know, my wife, it was infidelity issues. I was in the army, you know, and she left. She didn't want to be with me anymore. She now has a new man, blah, blah, blah. It was a back and forth. It was messy. I did things. I made mistakes. She made mistakes. I tried to fix my family, but she didn't want to anymore, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you know what? Like, let me know more about you. Then it went into him always blaming her for something and talking about taking the kids away from her and getting full custody and wanting to be the primary parent. And it became very spiteful. And I straight up told him, I said, this sounds really messy. I don't like how you don't get along with your baby's mom, and that you don't even allow her to contact you. You have her blocked, and the only way that she is allowed to contact you is through email. Me personally did not feel like that's healthy for the children, nor is it healthy for me. You know, because if she's reaching out to you, he's like, well, she's just so negative and she puts me in a bad mood, so I'm blocking her. And I'm like, well, what if there's an emergency with your kids? How can she possibly reach you through? Who's on their email all day, you know? I said, how can she possibly reach you if something happens? Like, say if something happens in the middle of the night, God forbid something happens to the kids at the middle of the night, she's going to send you an email? Like, I wouldn't even send you anything because it's just so hard to reach you. And he's like, well, you know, if there's an emergency, she'll find a way. She can call me blocked. I'm like, why does she have to stretch her hand so far to let you know as a father something's going on with the kids? I could not imagine blocking my son's father for that long, especially when he has my son. I'm not blocking him when he has my kid, period. Now, if you want to block her, I wouldn't even say block her when you have the children. Just keep the peace. And if there's no peace between him and the baby mom, you don't want to be a part of that, because they don't have that handle. No man wants to deal with drama, so you shouldn't be settling for drama, and you shouldn't get into their business. You don't know what that woman been through with him. You don't know what all is the full story. You're only getting one side of it. So you cannot simply take sides just based off of a one-sided story. And I see a lot of women jump into relationships with these men and they're like, yeah, I'm a ride for him. He's a good dad. do you really know if he's a good dad? Like, you don't know if he's a good dad. Like, how do you know that? Like, because he tells you he's a good dad and you see him sometime with his kid. If he's a good dad, he's also a man that's going to keep peace in between the homes as well. Now, you can't help that some baby moms are bitter and, you know, are bitter or mad or whatever, and they just simply don't like him. And if I find out that a woman simply just do not like him, I'm going to be like, it's the reason why she don't like you. Like, you know, and I'm gonna slowly go into it. I'm gonna slowly go into it and observe it for my own. But I just felt like if my situation is peaceful between me and my son's father, and I'm not on the phone with you listening to you complain about your baby mom all the time, I don't feel like I mean, I'm not on the phone complaining about my baby father to you. I shouldn't have to listen to you complain about your baby moms to me all the time. Like, it should be a peaceful situation. Now, it's not going to be perfect. Arguments do happen. Disagreements happen. That is human. That's going to happen. Okay? But if it's like a constant, he's showing up, she's showing up, y'all fighting, y'all getting into it, she's doing things, you don't want to deal with that. You do not want to deal with that. He needs to get a settle on whatever's going on in that household, in that family, because at the end of the day, they are a family. And if you feel like you cannot handle another woman being a part of his life, because you cannot exit out that child's forever going to be there. And you also have to realize that you're not going to be priority all the time. So he can't just get up and go whenever he wants to go, because he should have a priority to his child, and that child should come first. And you should want that child to come first. So those are some things to kind of realize when you're dating a man with a kid, that you're just not going to be the top priority all the time, but he's going to make an effort and you're going to have to share some of that time. Meeting the kids too fast, that's also kind of like, you want a man that's going to value his children and not just bring his children around anybody. As well, like my son's father, he does not, I don't do that. Like, it took a while for my boyfriend to meet my son. Like, I don't just right off the back meet him, you know. And it should be vice versa for men. Men should be holding that standard up high for their children. Their children should be the most important thing to them. You should be meeting mom before his kids. Like, that, me personally, that's how I feel. Unless you have kids and then y'all just bring y'all kids together, then that's different. But if you don't have any kids and y'all just getting to know each other, I don't know, that's just my opinion on it. I just feel like you shouldn't be introducing your children to just anybody and don't know if it's gonna work out or not. So those are some things to look out for. It's just the communication between him and his baby mom, and if he takes care of his kids. Because just because he's like, and if a man ever hits you with oh, she don't let me see my kid and da 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 da. A man who wants to see his kid will see his kid. He will go get a lawyer and an attorney and go and fight for his rights. And he has every right to go and fight for his rights. Real fathers know what's up. They go and fight for their children and they fight for their rights. They don't just sit and complain on Facebook and talk about the person with friends and family. No, they go and take action. Simple as that. Because let some man try to take a woman's children, she's gonna go hand and foot. She's gonna fight hand and foot, if that's how you say it. She's gonna fight for her kids. She's not gonna play around with that. So that standard should be held up. The same standard should be held up for fathers as well. They should try just as hard as the mom's gonna try to fight for her kids. But yeah, like I said, the older you get, the dating options with people without kids are going to get smaller. That's just the reality of it. Most people, like I said, they have children or they're married or they had a divorce. Just depending on your age group, it doesn't apply to all. Like somebody who's in their early 20s, it's going to be different for somebody who's in their later 20s, and especially different for somebody who's in their early 30s but compared to their late 30s and so on. So those are some of the tips that I have if you want to date a man with a child. Like I said, I think you don't want to get caught up in any baby mama drama. And it depends on how many kids you have. If you have 0 kids, your max should be 1. Your max should be 1. If you have 0 kids and he has kids, your max should be 1. It depends. Now, if you're in your 30s and your mid-30s, that's going to depend. Because, like I said, more people have more kids as they get older. And they have probably a divorce or 2 kids under their belt. So that's just the reality of it. If you have any advice for the lady that sent me this email, or if you have any advice for women who are dating men with kids, what to look out for, what not to look out for, would you date somebody with a child, what was your experience with them, go ahead and comment that below. And if you like videos like these, go ahead and submit me some of your situations or situationships to my email and let me know, like, hey, like, can you talk about this? Can you talk about this situation? I'm in this situation. Or if you don't feel like sending that in, go ahead and comment your situation below, and most likely my followers will reply to it and give you some good advice. I have some really good subscribers that are really have a lot of knowledge and give a lot of positive words of affirmations and encouraging words and advice. So I will go ahead and comment that below as well. Thank you guys for watching this video, and look forward to more in the future. All right, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more content. All right, bye.